Hello Cancer, and welcome to my channel, Tarot by Gabrielle. This is going to be a general reading for Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus placements, looking at your connection between you and the person that you are dealing with and are needing to learn the most from right now. We'll be pulling for all three sides of the connection. We'll be looking at your energy toward it, their energy toward it, and the energy in between it. The concept being that there are three sides to every story. So we'll be looking at your version of the truth, their version of the truth, and this higher level unbiased truth in the middle. This middle section, we'll be looking at what is the deeper purpose of the connection and the best way for you to move forward in order to align further with your higher self. Friendly reminder that these are general readings and they are not here to resonate fully for everyone, and they won't resonate fully for everyone. So do please remember to take what does resonate and helps your personal situation and to leave what does not. On that note, and especially if you are a cross watcher, just know that this whole reading can be reversed. If that is the case for you, that is totally fine and totally normal. Again, the point is to take what helps and leave what doesn't. Last thing is that any information on the extended reading or on booking a personal reading or coaching session with me is in the description box below. All right, Cancer, let's jump on in. We're going to start with looking at overall energy through oracle cards first. So we're going to look at your side of the connection, their side of it, and the energy in between it with oracle cards. And then we will dive into the reading with tarot as we progress. But let's first start, Cancer, with your side of this connection to the person that you are dealing with and are needing to learn the most from right now. Oof. Cancer's energy toward the person they are dealing with. Reciprocity. You give a lot to this connection. And you give a lot to it because you care a lot about it. But there's something that's frustrating about it. Or something, I mean, okay. Well, yeah, shattered, and then on the bottom is separation. So it feels like you poured a lot into this connection, and then things ended up like this, and this energy. And I feel like there's this energy of trying to make sense of what happened or find clarity here. Maybe find peace, figure out how they're feeling, because I don't necessarily know what happened. They might have walked away. Because, yeah, it feels like you poured a lot, and then it felt like it ended up being for no reason. This person's energy toward you. It wasn't for no reason. I don't know. This person's energy toward you, Cancer. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, ego with deja vu. This person made, oh my goodness, their energy is very all over the place. This person made ego-driven decisions here. And it feels like this is like a cycle for them. Making decisions that don't actually align with what they desire, but align with kind of protecting themselves or survival. And that's what the ego is. You know, it's not our enemy. Its primary goal is survival. It makes decisions that are rooted in familiarity, right? The ego likes to be in spaces that it knows it can survive. It likes control. It likes predictability, which is the opposite of vulnerability. You know, we can't control and be vulnerable at the same time. And I feel like this person, I feel like they walked away. I don't know. This is just overall energy. I'm just kind of getting a general idea of what went down, and then we'll dive into kind of like what the purpose of this reading is. Truth of the connection between Cancer and this person. I feel like they regret it though. Redacted. There's a lot that I feel is left unsaid. There's also a lot of kind of trying to read in between the lines. Like that's, you know, kind of what this card is showing. It's like trying to read in between the lines because I feel like there wasn't a whole lot of, you know, communication maybe about feelings or on the page that you guys were on. Like never were really on the same page, especially not toward the end or about the ending here. That didn't feel like that was supposed to come out. I like when the card flips all the way around or hits the table like that. breakups and makeups. This person has this tendency to be very in and out in relationships. But I feel like overall, like the overall message is like they regret walking away. But there's like a but. But they regret walking away. But you need to know this because I feel like there's something like it's like spirits. I don't know. I'm not gonna make assumptions. I'm just gonna see what unfolds. Overall theme of this reading, because I obviously don't see regret. I'm kind of picking up on that because it feels like they have this cycle of like pushing away a good thing or like walking away and then regretting it later. Like making decisions from ego or from shadow or insecurity or whatever, and then turning around and be like, man, I wish I didn't do that. That's kind of why I'm picking up on that. All right, overall theme of this for Cancer. The feelings are mutual. Like this person does care. They care about you. They care about the connection. It's like you poured a lot into this just for them to walk away. And I feel like you've been really struggling since that happened. Influence and distractions. It's almost as if there were outside influences that pushed them into walking away, or like, I don't know. What else? I need to reach out. I feel like they're, oh, okay. I don't know if they will, but there's something about kind of feeling a pull toward you. Ooh, Cancer, I feel like you need to be careful. Maybe they did reach out. They might have actually already reached out. I feel like you need to be careful here. Let's dive into this more. I don't know. There's something kind of ominous about like the underlying message here, which is what we're about to dive into. So let's look, Cancer, at your side of this connection to the person you're dealing with. Let's put the pieces together a little bit more. I mean, Justice in reverse right out of the gate. With the Two of Cups as the underlying, there is a lot of really genuine love that you had for this person and then feeling really screwed over. So yeah, if you're feeling screwed over, it feels like they're the ones that walked away, or they did something that like pushed the connection to separation, but I feel like this is them walking away here. Cancer side of the connection. Four of Pentacles in reverse. You were really blindsided. And then Temperance upright. Blindsided by this. This was unexpected. And this Temperance card is this energy of kind of like, I feel like you, after this happened, it kind of like, I don't know if it took a while to process or to like fully understand what happened here, because it just kind of feels like things took a turn really quickly. Like their energy shifted and things changed really quickly. And just kind of feeling like what the hell just happened? Like that's what it feels like in your energy. What the hell just happened? Like I thought things were good. I thought we were headed in a good direction. I thought feelings were mutual, which they are, right? Which makes what happened so much more confusing. Seven of Wands in reverse. There's a lot of reversed cards coming out right now. I mean, 3 out of the 4 that I've pulled. The Seven of Wands in reverse is kind of like, I feel like this has you really in your head and kind of doubting yourself a lot, because I do feel like you poured so much into this and then they kind of turned around and, walked away. And as you going, what did I do wrong, or why wasn't I enough, or why isn't what I gave you enough? Like there's a lot of kind of, yeah, this messed you up a little bit. And I think that it brought to the surface maybe some buried like wounds and insecurities here. So my stomach is growling. I should have eaten in between readings, but I didn't. But yeah, there's a lot of like just trying to make sense of everything. Like that's the biggest thing really coming through. And I feel like the point of this reading is to help provide you with some clarity. The Ten of Swords. I mean, yeah, there it is. This is what you felt blindsided by. And I also feel like there's more to like why things unfolded the way that they did. And maybe that's what this redacted card was really talking about. Like you don't have the full picture yet, so you don't want to jump to conclusions, right? When we don't have the full picture, it's easy to jump to, because the first way we view any situation is through the lens of our insecurity, our fear, our self-doubt. So when someone does something that's very unexpected, we have this tendency to go, oh, it was me, like I wasn't good enough, or they didn't care about me, or they, I wasn't worth it to them, or whatever. I feel like there's something you don't know. Whoa, there's a card turned around. Ten of Cups. From the Ten of Cups to the Ten of Swords. Feeling as if everything was good, happy, lots of love, to just like, bam, I want one more. Just because I went to go pull one when I saw that Ten of Cups. Okay, two more, I guess. Nine of Cups in reverse. With the Chariot in reverse. So many reverse cards. It's like now you're having a hard time moving forward, because I feel like this kind of, like I said, messed you up in a lot of ways. It messed with you. I feel like there was a lot of trust that was broken. Okay, you know what happened here. I just want to, I want to know, like, because there's always a point to the reading. There always is. In all of my readings, there's a reason Spirit's bringing through certain messages. But I guess first I got to know the story, right? I gotta know what's going on here before I can start to put the pieces together. So let's look at your side of this connection, Cancer. This person, or I said your side, or did I say their side? Then I said Cancer and I messed myself up. Sorry, there's a lot coming through, and I'm trying to like connect all the dots, but not jump to conclusions. It's kind of, I think that's your energy that I was in. It's like trying to make sense of everything, but trying not to jump to conclusions, but trying to process it all. Okay, let's shift gears here. This person's energy toward you. Ego with deja vu. And I certainly don't blame you. I think that this has been, I don't know, very complicated to say the least. Ego with deja vu. This person's energy toward you. Two of Swords. And then there you are. Queen of Cups. And this is what I said about whether you're male or female. This is just your energy coming out. We all have feminine and masculine energies within us. But it feels like, because this is what I said about how this person regrets their decision. This is what it feels like. It feels like it was their decision. So they made some sort of a decision when it came to this connection that pushed the connection into separation, or into a place of kind of like needing repair. There's the regret. I knew we were going to see it. The Five of Cups. This is giving this energy of regret. Okay, that helps, because I was like, am I making that up? But I'm not. Lovers in reverse. Nine of Wands. Which kind of usually to me represents like the repetition of a cycle. Getting to the end of a cycle but never fully closing it. Starting over. It's like not getting to the end. Oh boy, okay, there's a lot here, but I feel like I'm supposed to take it all. 4 different cards, I think, 5 different cards. Two of Cups, so there is love here. But there's also this devil. Queen of Swords with the Judgment in reverse. Seven of Pentacles in reverse. Okay. This Queen of Swords, gosh, my stomach is freaking out right now. It's like my solar plexus chakra is going crazy. Okay. Queen of Swords, Judgment in reverse. I'm going to put these to the side for a second. I feel like these are going to come in later because I felt drawn toward, okay. So right out of the gate, this person does regret whatever decision they made in this connection. But this decision wasn't made from a place of clarity. It was made from a place of insecurity. Lovers in reverse, this feeling of not being good enough for the love that they desire. And I feel like what's interesting is this connection came around and it was very aligned with what they were looking for, what they wanted, what they were hoping for. Like the feelings here feel very real. They feel very mutual, which is why I think this decision is so confusing, not just for you, because obviously, yes, it would be for you, but for me as a reader too, because it feels like the decision that they made went very much against like what they wanted. Like it was like, okay, here's the path to the thing that I desire. Great, I'm going to take this one. Like that's what it feels like happened here. And there's usually a reason for that, like, you know, especially when we're dealing with ego, because again, ego's primary goal is survival. So it's like, I guess a better way to explain that is like, here's the path to what I desire, but this is the path I'm used to walking. So I'm going to take this path because I'm used to it, right? This path is unfamiliar and that's scary and I have to be vulnerable and I just, that makes me uncomfortable. So I'm going to choose kind of like the road most traveled, if you will. And I feel like that's what kind of happened here is this person made a decision that didn't align with what they actually want, that didn't align even with what they really deserve here, but aligned with what felt the most familiar. And I think that there's this devil energy played a really heavy, like a really, big role in it. This devil energy did, because this devil is all about kind of unhealthy patterns, unhealthy decisions. It could be addiction. It could be, there's so many things the devil can represent. So I don't want to jump to conclusions about it. But again, this whole reading is like, don't jump to conclusions. You don't have the full story yet. But this devil played a role in this decision making. And I feel like this devil is this energy or this something that they've carried around for a really long time. Some sort of unhealthy pattern or behavior that they, like I said, they've carried around for a really long time that keeps them stuck in this cycle. It's a cycle of choosing, like constantly choosing the path most traveled, not the path that aligns with what they actually want or what, they desire, but the path that aligns with what they're used to. Now, going even deeper, just kind of like diving more into like psychology around this, we tend to choose what we believe we are deserving of. And if something comes around that aligns with what we desire, but we haven't done the work on believing in our worth and knowing what it is that we deserve, we're going to sabotage it. We're going to push that thing away, or we're going to mess it up in some way, not because we want to mess it up, but because we don't know how to accept it. We don't know how to believe that we're worthy of it. It's a very interesting thing about the human psyche is that, it'll always act from a place of putting you back in a position of familiarity unless you override it with healing and growth and conscious decision making, as opposed to letting like your subconscious wiring take the wheel. And I think that understanding kind of where this is all coming from is really important, or where this person is coming from is really important, because this is a pattern that has nothing to do with you. This has nothing to do with how they feel about you. This has nothing to do with how they see you. This has nothing to do with their perception of you or anything. It has everything to do with the way that they value and perceive themselves. They don't believe they're worthy of what it is that you provide. Therefore, they ruined it. They messed it up. They pushed it away. They walked away. Whatever, kind of wording fits your situation. And I feel like where this comes really into play is, first of all, you could be dealing with an air sign, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, but that's not how I see this. I feel like this person makes a lot of decisions that are very like driven by logic and not always driven by heart. Now, that's not necessarily a bad thing. Like I think we can, some people maybe lean toward, overthinking, and some people maybe lean toward just making decisions out of feeling. But it's important to find a balance between that, so that you're not, because if you get really in your head and your fear, doubt, and insecurity lives in your head, you're always going to overthink yourself into self-sabotage. And I feel like that's what happened here. It feels like this person saw this, especially with the judgment in reverse. It's like they saw this connection as too good to be true. They saw it as something that they really wanted, and they didn't know how to handle that, so they messed it up. Now remember, 95% of our movements, choices, and decisions stem from our subconscious. Only 5% of the way we interact with our reality is actually conscious level decision making. So they might not be aware that this is like why they're making the decisions that they are. A lot of people can be very impulsive or very disconnected from themselves. So instead of like thinking through their decisions, and again, using that 5% conscious effort to override subconscious patterns, they just let that subconscious, make the decisions for them. So if there's feelings of insecurity or not being good enough, they're always going to make the decisions subconsciously that align with, I'm not good enough, I can't have what I desire, I'm not lovable, whatever the case is. But then again, they turn around and they regret it, right? Because once enough time has passed and they're out of that fear of vulnerability, fear of insecurity, or whatever, they go, wait, no, I actually really wanted that. Like, why did I do that? That I don't understand why I did that. But then they get back in it, and as soon as those things start to arise again, they make the same decision. So there is a cycle going on here. And I feel like that's why Spirit wants you to be very careful with your approach to this connection, because I do feel like they regret walking away. I feel like there is very obvious regret here. But I also feel as if there hasn't been any kind of addressing the underlying stuff that made them make the decision that didn't align with them in the first place. And I think that what that means is that's going to repeat. Because if this is a cycle, if they have a cycle of being driven by ego, that cycle isn't going to change unless they make decisions that change it, right? Like doing the healing, doing the growth, starting to understand themselves, like self-reflection, emotional awareness, things of that nature. Because all of those tools are what help us show up in alignment with what it is that we, what helps us take the path toward what we desire, even if we're, instinctually drawn toward what it is that we're familiar with. So it's really interesting how these messages are coming through, but also I feel like that is that warning. And I think that that's what Spirit is saying. Like, there are reasons this person made this decision that had literally nothing to do with you. Has nothing to do with you at all. Nothing to do with how they feel about you or see you or whatever. It has everything to do with where they're at and their lack of healing and growth and the devil. I mean, the unhealthy patterns. This devil isn't like a third party's thing. Like, this isn't like this devil energy making them make a decision. This is like, think of it as like the devil within. These are unhealthy, unhealed, wounded patterns that drive their decision making in relationships, that cause them to make these decisions that don't align with what it is that they want, but align with self-sabotage. And that's what you got to watch out for. Because once a self-sabotager, unless they do a lot of healing, always a self-sabotager. So I think that, one of the best things I've ever learned is that people don't show up in relationships in accordance with how they value you. They show up in relationships in accordance with like how they value themselves. They show up in alignment with their ability to believe that they're lovable and deserving and good enough. People don't treat other people based on how they value other people. They treat other people based on how they value themselves. It's like the best thing I've ever learned, because first and foremost, it can help us not take other people's the way that other people treat us personally. And second of all, it can keep us out of the trap of trying to like prove our worth and our value in order to get other people to change. So I feel as if there's a need to kind of just, proceed with caution when it comes to this connection. The other thing is, our relationships with other people will always reflect our relationship with ourselves. And there, when certain cycles appear in our life, such as, people like attracting the same type of person or even the same person that makes these types of decisions, it, is drawing us towards something that we're needing to know, something that we're needing to heal, a way in which we're needing to grow so that we can break ourselves free from that cycle. Otherwise, that cycle will continue to repeat in our life, right? It's not about other people changing. It's about figuring out why we attract a certain type of dynamic into our life so that we can break free from that and move forward toward the relationships that we do deserve and desire. So we're going to hop on over to the extended and we're going to look at this. a little bit deeper. You have breakups and makeups with redacted. So I'm going to pull 12 more tarot messages, and I've got an advice card that I'm going to close that reading out with, ultimately looking at the deeper purpose of the connection and the best way for you to move forward in alignment with your higher self. Any information for that is in the description box below. As always, thank you so much, Cancer, for your support of my channel. I do obviously hope that this reading helped and resonated with you in a way that you were needing today. And as always, I wish you nothing but love and healing and all of the wonderful things that you deserve and desire on your journey moving forward. All right, bye, Cancer.